Hello. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You take off work or school, you grab your coffee, you sit down at your PC, you log into your favorite online game, you check to see how much money you got in the game, and suddenly, you're rich. Not just rich, but like oil prince rich. On December 27th, 2025, Ubisoft didn't just get hacked, they got completely owned. For 24 hours, every player who logged in was given a fortune. The attackers didn't merely steal, they saturated the market with infinite currency. The players got so much in-game currency, they could buy everything in the game, anything the game has to offer, and still have an absurd amount left over. But they didn't even have to do that, because the hackers unlocked every skin anyway. They exposed every secret, but it wasn't just the money that scared people. It was the messages the hackers were sending to the players. This is the story of the $339 trillion Rainbow Six glitch, the story of the Mongo Bleed exploit, the story of 5 hacker groups who went to war with a gaming giant, and each other, and turned the servers into a haunted house for the holidays. Everybody lock in. It's the weekend after Christmas. Ubisoft support is probably running on a skeleton crew of 3 guys in a coffee machine. And suddenly the internet starts crashing out. Players are logging in and finding that their accounts were blessed by some kind of shooting game Robin Hood. 2 billion credits. Now let's do some quick math. In the real world, you buy these credits with real cash. You get 15,000 credits for about $100. That means every single account was injected with about $13 million worth of currency. If you multiply that by the millions of active players, you get a number that doesn't make sense. $339 trillion. That means you could buy the entire company of Ubisoft 375,569 times. It's funny, right? It's infinite money. But in a video game, time is money.
Time is money, friend.
If you give everyone everything, the game's over. There's nothing left to play for, nothing left to grind for. And it was wrapped in a gift box just in time for the holidays. But things started to get even more crazy. It wasn't just about the money. They unlocked everything. The glacier skins, stuff from year 1 of the game. You can't even get that stuff anymore. The elite skins, even skins that Ubisoft developers made only for themselves. The hackers were showing off. They were saying, we aren't just in your house. We're all up in your fridge, we're wearing your clothes, and we're snatching your panties. But then things got spooky. The hackers figured out how to use the global notification system. That's the thing that broadcasts to everyone playing the game at once. The devs used to use this to announce player bans or cheaters. Keep in mind that the notification feature has been completely disabled by the developers recently. All work and no play makes me a dull boy, a reference to Stanley Kubrick. You know, a little Kubrick reference, classic ominous supervillain stuff. It wasn't me. Lyrics from the 2000s hit song from Shaggy. Ubisoft had to tweet this out. Any message seen were not triggered by us. Just think about that. A billion-dollar corporation having to admit publicly, we've lost control of the microphone. The next one had the internet in a frenzy. The message said, what else are they hiding from us? It's the perfect hook. It turns a hack into a conspiracy. Are they hiding unreleased games? Are they hiding the fact that their security is trash? It made people paranoid. So how did they do it? Did they rappel down the elevator shaft at the Ubisoft building like Mission Impossible or something? No. They used something called Mongo Bleed. It sounds gross, and it kind of is. Ubisoft uses a database called MongoDB. It's a pretty popular database among tech companies. There was a vulnerability discovered in how the database handles compressed files, basically zip files. The hacker sent a request to the server that said, hey, here's a compressed file, please unzip it. But they lied about the file size. The server gets confused, tries to unzip it, and fails. But instead of just saying error, it spits out a chunk of its own memory. It leaks its own brain. This is called heap memory. And what's inside heap memory? Passwords, admin keys, the keys to the kingdom. The hackers didn't break the lock. They tricked the door into becoming a window. Now you'd think this was like one group of elite hacker trolls, right? Wrong. According to malware historians VX Underground, there were 5 different groups involved. 1. These are the guys that did the Rainbow Six hack. The Shaggy lyrics, the money printing. They just wanted clout. They wanted to see the world burn for the lulz. They were on that DC Comics Joker type beat. Group 2. These guys are the scary ones. While Group 1 was distracting everyone with infinite money, Group 2 was allegedly in the back stealing 900 gigabytes of source code, including code for unreleased games and who knows what else. They were able to reach all the way into the DNA of the company. Group 3, some randoms on Telegram who showed up and said, "Hey, we stole your passwords." Spoiler alert, they didn't. They were just some scammers who were trying to get money out of the whole thing. But here's the plot twist, Group 4. They showed up, started beefing with Group 2. They said, hey, Group 2 is lying. They didn't hack Ubisoft today. They've been inside the servers for years. That's the nightmare scenario. The idea that these hackers have just been living in the walls, watching Ubisoft, waiting for the right moment. And it gets worse. Ubisoft has security for stuff like this in the game client, and they use an anti-cheat software called BattleEye on top of that. But none of that matters if you have someone on the inside. For years, players have been complaining about their accounts getting stolen. And the rumors, which are backed up by some pretty damning evidence, points to outsourced support centers in Brazil. The theory goes like this. You pay a hacker, the hacker knows a guy working at Ubisoft support, the guy takes a bribe, ignores the two-factor authentication, and just gives the account away. Doesn't matter how good your anti-cheat is, if the guy guarding the gate takes a $50 bribe to look the other way. Ubisoft had no choice. They pulled the plug. For 24 hours, Rainbow Six Siege went completely dark. They initiated a global rollback. When the servers came back up, the money was gone. The skins were gone. It was like waking up from a fever dream. Ubisoft apologized and promised not to ban anybody who spent any of the cash. Because, well, if they banned everyone who clicked the button, they wouldn't have any players left. So as I was finishing this video, apparently, just days after the hack was resolved, Rainbow Six was hacked again. This time the hackers spammed players with fake ban notices for harassment. They said they were banned for 67 days. I guess it's a reference to that 6-7 meme that went viral last year.
Huh. Might not be good. We want to let you know that 67676767 of your reports led to sanctions.
While these bans were not real, the players could still play. The constant messages were pretty annoying. Additionally, the hackers actively included arbitrary messages in the main menu, like just nonsensical stuff or self-promotion, clout-chasing type stuff. And it disrupted the game. It was pretty annoying for a lot of players who were just trying to get back in after the hack just got fixed. As a result, Ubisoft had to shut down all the servers again across all platforms. Ubisoft took about 24 hours to respond officially, stating that the ban notifications were not legitimate and could be disregarded. So what did we learn? We learned that digital value is an illusion. We learned that your favorite game is held together by duct tape and dusty database code. And we learned that somewhere out there, there's a group of hackers who can print $300 trillion just to make a point. So I want you guys to promise me tonight. Enable two-factor authentication. Not that it's going to help you if, tech support's taking bribes, but, do it anyway. Stay safe and stay salty.